What's nice about Mahara is it is a web application, so that means that we can access it on any computer as long as it's connected to a network. So to start, we'll just simply open up a browser. Now here I'm using Firefox, but on a side note, it's probably best to avoid Google Chrome. There's a few bugs within Chrome that, when it comes to our e-portfolio system, it will do what it asks to, but sometimes it doesn't appear as it is doing it. So I just advise to use a different browser such as Firefox, Internet Explorer, Safari. Any of those work really well. So to start, we'll open up our browser, and then we will go to this URL up top here, this portfolios.cmish.edu. Then here in the login, we will log in with our username and password, which is going to be our global ID, and then the password for that. If it's your first time logging in, it will prompt you for an email. Just go ahead, place an email in there. It's best to probably use your CMIsh. All right, to start, we're just going to go right here to your content. If you click on it, it will bring us to editing our profile. So this is just like filling out a Facebook or a LinkedIn, any kind of social networking kind of client. It's just roughly the same thing. So to start, we'll be underneath the About Me. If you notice here, it has placed my first and last name in there. Now this is how it will be in the system. If you do go by a shorter name or anything like that, like here, my name is Nicholas, but I go by Nick, so I change it in the display name. So this will be displayed as Nick Novak, but in the system it will show my full name. You can place the student ID in there if you wish, but it's not necessary, so you don't really have to. And then you can place a brief introduction if you wish. Remember to save periodically down here on the bottom on the Save Profile. If you click it, it will tell you right up here in green, Profile saved successfully. The next tab over, this contact information. Here is where you can place any applicable items for your contact. You can add an additional email address just by hitting Add Email. Place your email address in there. We'll send you a confirmation email. Just go ahead and confirm it, and then we'll place it on here for you. Also has spots for your, if you have a web or a blogging address, you can go ahead and place it right in there. Insert your postal address. If you notice here, under City Region is where I'm actually placing the state. The company that codes our e-portfolios for Mahara is actually out of New Zealand, so a few things kind of get lost in translation. So since there's no states over there, they never coded anything in the system to allow us to place a state. So we just place in the city region, and then town is where you will place your hometown or Mount Pleasant, whichever is fine. Go ahead and place any other applicable phone numbers, and then we'll move on to the next tab over, which is the messaging. Here's where you place any messaging clients that you use. Now you probably won't want to place your AOL Instant Messenger screen name and then be giving out to professors and prospective employers. So pretty much any of these are kind of fall into that same kind of category. But one thing to really consider is Skype. More and more interviews are being conducted over Skype. It's more cost effective to actually do a series of interviews over Skype than it is to fly you all the way out there in another state. So if you're looking for, using this as a tool and you're looking for a job outside of the state, it's good to have a Skype name, and you can place that right in there. The next tab over here, General. Right here is where you'll place your occupation and industry. You can go ahead and just place a student in there if you wish, because you guys are all students still. And then under industry, you can just place education. You can even narrow it down more towards secondary or elementary, and even some secondary education students will even narrow it down to maybe biology or history or social studies, any of those kind of items. So you can go ahead and place those in there however you wish. Remember, save profile. And that's our first aspect of our profile. So now we're going to go to the next tab over right here, which is our profile pictures. This is where we'll choose a nice photo for our profile. Now to upload, you'll just hit this little browse button. It'll bring up a little browser window. Then we can search through here, select a photo, and I can open, and then I'll hit upload, and then we'll place it on there. Now if you have one on there, by default, it will set it as your default picture. So if you notice here, I have this photo here, and it's set over here. So if I need to change it, I can just click this, and then it will become my new default photo. All right, the next one over that I'll talk about is our resume. So here is where you will place all your resume information for the system. You can also place a hardcover on there with it as well, but this is how it will be in for the e-portfolio system, and you will see later on how this will fit well into your profile, or portfolio, when we copy in the standards in a future video. All right, so first one here, introduction, cover letter. You can just hit edit. It will open up this nice little text box. If you notice, it looks very familiar to Microsoft Word. You can go ahead and type it in here. If you notice, there is a spell check, but it's really not that great. So what I advise people to do is to type it into Word and then do all the spell and grammar checks within there, and then copy and paste, throw it in here. If you do wish to place a cover letter on here, make sure that it is pretty open. You don't really want to cater towards one job specifically while you're looking out for other jobs. Down here on the bottom is personal information. Technically, you do not have to fill this out. It's actually illegal for a prospective employer to actually ask you some of these questions. But if you are considering looking for a job outside of the country, like Canada, Mexico, or any place like that, it's good to place a citizenship and a visa status for obvious reasons. The next tab over right here, education and employment. This is where you will place your education and employment history. You'll just click add, start date, end date, institution, qualification types, all that kind of good stuff, the address, everything. Just go ahead, fill out whichever items you can. Once you have it in there, hit save, and then it will place it right in here. You can place your high school in there if you wish. A lot of people have noticed good things about placing their high school in there, because then it can show once you're looking for a job. You might have a principal or someone on the school's administration that have some association with the school that you went to. Either they went there or they've worked with people from there or something. Either way, it can build some common ground, so that's always good. Same thing with employment history. Just hit add, start date, end date, employer, address, job title, position description, all that kind of good stuff. Fill out whichever you can. A lot of people ask, well, what if I've never had a job that actually caters towards teaching? If you've just had a job at McDonald's or fast food, flipping burgers, something, go ahead and place it in there. It shows that you can hold a job, that you can get up early and come into work, that you have responsibility. So just go ahead and place any job experience that you've ever had. The next one over, achievements. This is where you will place any certifications, book publications, professional memberships, anything like that. Right here in certifications, if you can place MTTC score sheets, any kind of certifications that you'll earn here, whichever helps make yourself stand out, look good. Dean's list, president's list, anything like that. Go ahead, place it on here. Books and publications. I know some people in child development have actually published some theses, and a lot of research has been done, and they've placed items on here. So if you are child development and you've done this stuff, go ahead and place it right in there. The last one here, professional memberships. If you're in any of future educators like coffee or anything like that, any memberships on campus, go ahead, place it in there. If you're in a sorority or fraternity, go right ahead, place it right on there. The next two, goals and skills, are just a general, personal, academic, and career. You can fill those two out at your leisure. And then the last one, interests. This is just a kind of get to know you one-on-one, what you like to do, hobbies, all that kind of good stuff. We notice a lot lately that a lot of prospective employers have really enjoyed reading people's interests. They like to see how you de-stress from a stressful job, and that work isn't everything to you. So go ahead, just give a nice summary about yourself, like just a few sentences, couple paragraphs, whichever. But that's pretty much filling out your profile within the content, and we'll see more how this correlates with other things in future videos.